Welcome back. My name is Kit.
My name is Madison.
And it's your boy, Steve.
Welcome back, guys. It's a holiday version. I'm
It is.
stuttering because we just received all of these wonderful gifts. You can check that on the YouTube channel. All the patrons sent us.
Later this week.
Yeah, it'll be eventually. At
Yeah,
some
this
point
comes
you'll see
out
it.
first before the unboxing.
Just
but yeah.
monitor the YouTube closely is all I'm saying.
Yeah, do it.
And you should check out the YouTube, guys. There's some good, sweet action there. I know the video version of each pod is on Spotify as well. But I'm just taken aback by the kindness of our supporters that I'm unable to speak right now. I'm also so very excited to discuss Lost episode 12, whatever the case may be, which is what we're doing today. Later this week, Steve's got a hot surprise for you guys. I don't know how hot it is. I don't even know what it is, but it is an episode with, and I haven't even heard it. So it's going to be interesting, but it's all of the patrons' favorite moments from the show from the past year or so clipped together. It's going to be wonderful.
A best of streaming things episode. So if you didn't catch all of Yellow Jackets, good news. You can get the best, funniest moments.
Highlights.
It's like streaming things wrapped.
That's right.
Yeah, streaming things wrapped. Yes, exactly.
But it's interesting for me because they picked out the moments, they sent them to you, and you edited the episode. So if to Madison and I, it's just a fresh episode. Like it's gonna be fun. Who knows what's gonna be on
we
there?
don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, and I gotta say, so
It's all of Steve.
lot
He
of-
cut everything about out.
it's just me talking to
It's
myself.
just Steve talking.
Good joke, Steve. Thank you. No, this has been a really fun exercise to do a best of episode. It's coming out on Wednesday. Because, like you said, these have been put together by patrons of the show. The mods on Discord sort of helped, they made the Excel spreadsheet and they gave that to me with timestamps so I can find everything quickly, which was very helpful. But also such a fun exercise because as everyone knows, when these mics go on, my brain turns off. Because people are like, oh, remember when you
just breathed into it.
Remember when you said that thing that one time? It's like, I have no memory of that at all.
No, yeah.
My mouth's just
So
moving.
I'm gonna hear these seemingly for the first time.
Yeah.
Like that is funny.
There's
what a
been
good show.
There's been a couple of times where I was like, oh my God, I forgot we went on that.
I love that.
Yeah. So
That's fun.
It's going to be a blast. So that comes out on Wednesday and it'll be a fun way to sort of put a nice little period on the year.
I've
for
always
streaming
wanted
things.
to make like a version of this, but for the entire show as like just for fun for me, but like a trailer thing kind of too, you know what I
Kind of
mean?
like a reel.
But it's like, that is such a daunting,
Yeah.
I'm talking all the way back to like dibs on skins and God knows what.
Ooh.
And also it's been incredible because this year has been quite transformative for the show because, you look at what the show, because we just started doing cameras a little bit over a year ago.
Yeah, exponential growth.
And so
in
if
every sector.
you look at that stuff that like the Harry Potter clips that we pulled, and compare that to what we're doing now, it's so incredible just how much we've grown. And then also Madison just kind of pops up in the first quarter of the year. Like, oh, here's this new person who's going to go on to be like the third heat that the show needs.
Oh, well, I've loved being on, so it's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the exponential growth. You're welcome.
It's true. You're part of it. And none of that would have been possible. I hate to just beat a dead horse here. Well, it's dead. It wouldn't say anything. That was the last, like there's air in its lungs.
Well, just imagine Kate off to the side, like, it's already dead. Stop hitting him.
Stop hitting him.
But it wouldn't be possible without the patrons. Like all of that growth, especially the studio and the technological aspects is 100% due to the patrons because we've used that money to do what you're seeing here and transform it from Andy's kitchen, all the way back to my basement.
Yeah. In the log cabin.
Yeah. And then that relationship ended. And so I had so we moved to Andy's kitchen and then,
now we're here.
And now we're here, baby. Started from the bottom.
And now we're here.
Now we're here.
Yeah. And then Steve putting all of this together, all of being the tech savvy man that you are.
Yeah.
So helpful.
Stop.
Killing it with your 100 monitors over
I would
here.
say currently I'm not killing it. I am maiming it, however.
It's true.
You're making
It's
it
not
work.
going to last long.
No one, I don't think we've talked about it on air, but like the new computer thing hasn't been a 100% success yet.
It's just a bunch of darkened monitors behind our old computer.
Yeah. So like our cameras don't work with the new computer for some unknown reason. And so when we record into the old computer and then I move everything into the new one to edit there because it edits like a dream.
Yeah.
But we're going to be stuck in this sort of limbo until I can get Andy or another computer savvy person to come in and help me with it.
It's
Are we
okay.
gonna be lost?
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh,
I thought you were going to hit a sound. You clicked your board and we were all ready. Okay, that's what we were waiting on.
I clicked over to it and then it was like, the moment's passed. I won't do it.
If you've never listened to the show before and you've waited this long to find out what the fuck it is, congratulations. We're watching Lost. Madison and I for the first time. Steve has seen it before. We're on episode 12. We're doing one a week for right now, which is how it originally aired. However, we're going to speed things up in some kind of fashion soon-ish.
Yeah,
We
in
have
the new
question
year.
mark plans for 2024. Rate and review the show wherever you're listening. That helps a lot. You can subscribe to the show via Patreon at patreon.com/streamingthings. Get extra bonus episodes. Later this week, we're watching Gremlins is what won the holiday poll.
Yes.
Patrons can vote on polls. So that's going to drop on Patreon only
Gremlins.
later
Is that
this
your gremlin
week.
hand?
yeah.
And then next week, I believe, is Lost episode 13 and The Other Sister, a patron chosen film, if I'm not wrong.
By another sister.
That's correct. It goes deep. The rabbit hole goes deep on that one. We're going to do our overall thoughts on this episode, followed by a scene-by-scene, play-by-play recap and reaction, and then some fun little categories to wrap things up. We've got Beach Please, where
Beach Please.
Steve talks about some behind-the-scenes trivia and tidbits from the episode, our Mile High Club moments, our top 3 favorite moments of the episode, our Passenger Princess nomination, our favorite performance of the episode, and followed by Lost and Found, where we're keeping track of all the mysteries as they unfold, which ones have been answered and which ones are lost. That's right, baby. So now, without further ado, no more gilding the lily. Madison, what did you think of Lost episode 12, whatever the case may be?
I really enjoyed it. I liked the title, how it's a play on the episode.
Love a good pun.
Whatever the case
Get
may
it?
be.
Case?
Just delighted by puns.
I did enjoy this kind of like, ooh, what's in another version of what's in the box?
What's in the box?
Yes,
I appreciate you pausing for effect.
you're welcome. It was a good episode. I definitely think I'm honestly still kind of hung up on the previous episode where they were working towards that momentum with Claire and wanting to kind of go into the hatch. I'm kind of more focused on that than I was interested in the things happening in this episode, just because that's kind of like a bigger plot. But I understand that they need to have this to fill in some gaps. But overall, I thought it was a good episode.
All right.
Steve.
Well, I'm just going to come out and say it. This is my least favorite episode so far of the season. I'm not a huge fan of this episode. The reason being is because, like what kind of Madison said, they introduced the hatch element. And so it's kind of like, oh, I can't wait to get into that and figure out what this hatch is. But then we do this sort of side story thing with Kate, which does expand upon her backstory a little bit more. But like the flashback thing was just kind of like, I knew it was happening the moment it started. The twist of that whole storyline was not really, surprising. And then we see a lot of the whole, the thing we talked about, how much we hate like Sawyer just always being like, I ain't giving you the case. We go back into that. Now, in this episode, it makes more sense because it's not him necessarily being an asshole. It's just him like genuinely wanting to know more about Kate. And this is his way of trying to figure that out. But it still leads to the same, like, okay, how many more times do I need to see Jack walk up, or any character really, walk up to Sawyer and say, hey, you're going to give me thing. And he goes, oh, am I? And they're like, yeah, you know why? Because I want it. And he goes like, I don't think so. Insert catchphrase. And it's just kind of this, like, I want them to just get out of this phase. And so it seemed like a big retread, a big step backwards for the momentum that the show was carrying. Mm-hmm. And then also the Shannon and Sayid subplot was like kind of fun, but also like I'm just not super into Shannon as a character. So like it just wasn't my favorite episode. I don't think it's terrible, but it's a lot of like, I think of all the episodes we've seen so far, this is the one I would point to first and say, this is a victim of the time that TV was in at the moment where we have to have 25 episodes. And this was one of the 25 padded episodes, right? Mm-hmm. So that, not my favorite. Kit?
I've got a completely different viewpoint. I think I really enjoyed this episode. Not my favorite.
It was that opening scene in the waterfall.
Madison,
wasn't it?
I am offended that you would think so low of me, but also yes.
What can I say?
I was going to refrain from harping too much about that out of respect.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Is what I would tell Sawyer.
Yeah.
So I agree with you, but I also I take it differently, Steve. Like you're 100% correct, but none of it offended me. I think this is one of the benefits of old-timey TV. And by old-timey, I mean, 15 years ago.
The talking pictures on the TV box, eh?
On the tube.
Yes.
Now in color.
I wouldn't call this a filler episode. I just think it's a benefit of the medium where you get to just take some time and breathe and explore different things. Yes, none of us care about Shannon as a character because they haven't given her any time, right? And so this is their effort to do that. And also, yes, it's a little bit of a regression in the character of Sawyer, but I think you're correct in kind of alluding to the fact that it's for a purpose for Kate's character, right? Where they're trying to push her to stop being little liar pants on fire, and she knew her pants were on fire. So she took them off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why she took them off.
She needs to put her drapes on.
Yeah, she does. And so also all the flaws in this episode were like so funny to me, and they're so fun for that reason. So none of it bothers me. I think it's necessary. Again, this is just something maybe that's for me, but I like that it got a little sexy. I like that they are potentially building up some.
Oh, sir, you misunderstood me. I never said I didn't like that it got a little sexy.
A little steamy.
The sexual tension between Sayid and Shannon, I did not expect. And I thought you'd be way more into that as a Sayid fan.
He deserves better.
And I could be wrong. You know where it's going.
Is that a tell?
Sometimes you just need some ass, man. That's true. not saying to objectify, but
when the pickings are slim, I think
I think you're actually touching on something that I'm just now realizing about myself, and it's that I'm just jealous of Shannon.
Like, he's too good for her.
You lay your hands off, stupid, sexy Sayid.
You're to come up as a French orc and try to seduce him with your French.
I also tan without my top on.
I appreciated the diversion into a little sexual tension, little love triangles, even
the sexual tension between Charlie and Rose.
There's a third. I was gonna make that joke. You stole my thunder. I was gonna say there's a third character.
We're too similar.
You're probably not thinking of here.
She's like, I believe my husband's coming back. Charlie's like,
and
I'm your new husband.
In a way, I think we got back to the roots of the show a little bit. You're saying it's a digression. I think it's a back to the beginning a little bit. We get a lot of mention of fuselage again.
Yeah.
And we start thankfully acknowledging the fucking jungle monster again. I was bitching last week about where did that go? It's finally being brought up. I think the writers were like, oh yeah, we had him gallivanting around the jungle fearlessly. Let's talk about the monster a few times. I really enjoyed it. And it's Kate heavy, huge fan of Evangeline Lilly, obviously. So I had a good time. I don't know where it would rank as far as the episodes for me, but I really enjoyed it. And I think if I was binging it, again, not to be a whiner again, if I was just watching 4 episodes last night, I wouldn't have thought anything of it. I would have fucking loved it.
I kind of agree. I kind of agree with both of you a little bit. I'm indifferent. There were some things about this episode that kind of made me mad, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But
agreed.
Yeah.
I got something I noticed.
Something that made you mad?
No, it didn't make me mad. It was just something I noticed that probably nobody else did.
Oh.
I'm curious.
We'll get there.
Okay.
It's a little weird.
All right, Freckles.
Freckles.
All right. Glitter freckles.
Yeah, I'm glittery. By the way, I want to call attention to the Kristen Stewart shirt that I'm wearing. It was a gift from Erica, patron saint of streaming things, it says on there. So excited. Hope you guys love it.
Are you gonna wear that to Sundance when you meet Case too?
I haven't talked about it on air. I'm going to not much, I don't think.
Not much.
I'm going to the Sundance Film Festival for the first time in my life. It's huge bucket list affair. They gave me a press badge. They're flying me out there. It's super exciting. And everybody in the Discord knows that they saw my excitement unfold slowly. I'm like, oh my God, there's a Kristen Stewart movie there, Love Lies Bleeding. The trailer just came out. She very likely will be at Sundance. What do I do, right? And then I was like, oh my God, guys, there's 2 Kristen Stewart movies there. Also Love Me with her and Stephen Yeun. Holy shit. There's almost guaranteed that she's going to be there. And then I found out on the opening night, she's receiving an honorary award. She will fucking 100% be there, guys. What do I do, right?
You wear that shirt.
And since I'm press, it's not likely, but it's not impossible that they might say, hey, do you want to cover this event? Do you want to interview her? Or, there's so many people that are going to be. Christopher Nolan's getting an award that night. Woody Harrelson will be there. Obviously, Stephen Yeun will likely be there.
And all three of those guys can fuck off.
Comparatively, yes. So what do I don't know. I'm going to panic. I don't
Just make sure you wear that shirt and
You have to
make
wear
her
that
very
shirt.
comfortable.
That'll not make it weird at all.
Yeah.
Be
just
Hey, Bella, where the hell you been, Loca?
Yeah, that's all. I'm just going to ask her where the hell she's been, Loca, for sure. And you might, some like occasional listeners might not even know what a fan of Kristen Stewart I am, but it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing for sure.
So anyway, I'm very hyped for that. That's January, like mid-January.
For those people who like sign up onto our Patreon and don't understand why the top tier is called the K-Stu Patron Saints of Streaming Things, that's the reason.
I love it.
So my guaranteed favorite movie of 2023 is Love Lies Bleeding. Before I see it, I'm calling it.
It looks great.
It does look great.
Yeah.
Rose Glass directed it, who did Saint Maud, an interesting kind of slow burn horror from a couple of years ago about a nun. That's none of your business.
I just love how Ed Harris looks like the Crypt Keeper.
He does. He does. But let's dive in. We've given our overall thoughts. It opens up with Kate shimmying up a goddamn tree, getting the fruities. I guess they're apples. Do apples grow in jungles? I don't know where apples
I thought
grow.
it was more like a papaya or a pear.
It didn't look like
Something
a papaya
a
to
little
me.
more tropical.
I don't even. Is pear a tropical fruit? I know like coconuts are.
Yeah.
Pineapples are.
Yeah.
I don't
No
know enough
idea.
about
Pineapples
fruit.
are in the ground though.
But they just look like little Granny Smith or something. Or maybe like what's the one? Not Honeycrisp, but it's like a
Golden
it's like,
Delicious?
Yes, it looked like kind of a Golden Delicious.
Okay, something I noticed, and I think I'm like tuning into like what I was doing with Yellow Jackets is like being very focused on like continuity and like terms of their environment and what they're in. So they've been on the beach for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. Steve,
It's at least 3. I think.
at least 3. Kate has no armpit hair,
She's shaving. They had all
How?
their luggage.
but like, you're worried about that?
I mean-
she should have something.
But this is early aughts, right? People were very misogynistic about the female
guess.
hair.
But I saw her shimmying down that tree, and I got a glimpse of her armpit. And I'm like, Kate, come on.
Lucky you.
So this is, we'll just say it since you called attention to
Okay,
it, right?
so according to Lossopedia, the day where Sawyer and Kate are swimming in the waterfall,
Sure.
that is day 21.
Canon
Okay,
event.
so 3 weeks.
Canon event.
Canon event, yeah.
One thing I noticed, I couldn't help it. This is the early aughts, right? With low rise jeans were all the rage. Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, she goes swimming with Sawyer. Okay. She very boldly, no big deal, just swims in her panties, right? Whatever. Later, which is presumably a couple days later, low rise jeans. She's wrestling with Sawyer and stuff. She's wearing the same panties, guys. We got to have some hygiene on this island.
You heard it here, third.
Come on, Kate. I know somebody's got to. Maybe Shannon's got some in the luggage. I don't know. You don't want to share.
You can't blame them for having to like wear a
Doubling up
and taking a.
Maybe
I
she
mean,
went
that
inside out, then backward.
That doesn't bother me as much as like, bitch, I know you're not shaving.
Yeah. Why are you taking the time to conform to the patriarchy when you're in this
Exactly.
situation? I'm with you. I get it.
It'd be really funny if like Shannon just had like really hairy legs, like she's
Yeah.
you know.
No,
like
I
all
think that would
stuff.
be so accurate.
Some
Yeah.
people, like my wife, doesn't like. She can go a long time and it doesn't like even get that. She has like very blonde, very fine hairs on her legs. Maybe that's the situation.
Well, sometimes if you wax your legs enough, it just comes in like super fine, very non-prickly like leg hairs. But anyway, that was just something I noticed, and I was like, interesting.
Yeah. So it says something about
That's
the character.
interesting.
It's like, hey, well, she's got, Sawyer and Jack going on. She's in there thinking about that a lot. Like,
I guess.
I'm going to the beach
Well,
tonight.
I hope she's maintaining everywhere. If that's the case. Or not. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Hey, do what you do.
Yeah. Love is love. So Kate's up in the goddamn tree. My note says, don't say that was hot.
I always love it when you tell on yourself.
Right.
A branch snaps behind her. She starts to feel the presence of something in the forest. And she just turns around and pegs Sawyer with a fucking rock.
I love that she just throws the rock into the bush and you just hear, ow,
Right.
my knee.
Like the accuracy of that throw.
Well, I love what they're doing with this character. It's so campy, but I love it. Is like all of a sudden, Kate's a bad motherfucker, right? Like she's got the tracking skills from her dad. We saw she pulls a Jason Bourne in the not the dream sequence, but in the flashback. And when she dings Sawyer with that rock, it's like she's got the accuracy of Tony the sniper would be amazed, right?
I've never seen anything like it. Honestly, it makes me a little scared.
Yeah, Sniper Tony would have never hit Sawyer with that rock.
She hit him from probably 12 feet away. I couldn't make that shot in my best day.
She was definitely a softball girly.
Definitely could not. They're gonna cut through this town like a hot knife through butter. That's one of my. I hope that's on the list.
It is.
I love that.
Yeah. So then he comes out like, "What the hell, my knee? I'll tell you if my knee hurts. It's my knee." And she's like, "I can take care of myself," right? Which is very true. But Sawyer's like,
"What are you going to protect me from, Southern perverts?"
Because that's you.
Got him.
Get it, Sawyer. And then they
shitted on him.
Then she hears something else, and they find a waterfall. Sawyer wants to go for a swim. They have a fun little date night. He calls her a navel-gazing, no fun, mopey type, which motivates her to jump in the water with him.
I love that he goes in with full jeans. I don't know why that bothered me so much.
That bothered me so much. And then when they got out of the water and Kate put her jeans on immediately,
you can't put pants on wet legs. Thank you.
Yeah.
PTSD.
It was like, I was like cringing watching the TV.
Yeah, Kate Donald Duck, and it makes sense. But like Sawyer does not like take that was so messed up. But I did appreciate when he like takes off his shirt, because I assume he's like, hey, I know I'm a kind of a creep, but deep down I'm a little bit of a gentleman, so I don't want to go like full like taking off my pants in front of this girl. Yeah. I don't want to make her that uncomfortable yet.
He's like, what if I pop a boner?
So, exactly. Like I ain't going to hear the end of this.
I have something to tuck it into my waistband.
So he starts going into the lake with his pants on, and then he turns around and sees Kate pulling off her pants, and he just has this like really genuine, oh, okay.
Noise.
I didn't know it was this kind of party.
All right. It's and then they have what I can only describe as an underwater tickle fight.
Yeah.
Which is, it's not what you do, right?
Says you.
Like if I was,
let's go to the YMCA.
If I was having like a flirty, half skinny dip with a lady that I was crushing on, I'm not going to swim up and tickle. That's not what I'm going to do.
Tickling is not the way to romance anybody.
Are you going to dunk her?
I'm not going to do that either.
He dunks her at one point.
I'm not doing any of what he does.
You do a little splashy splash.
Yeah, maybe a little splash.
A little splashy splash.
Yeah.
Get away.
That's all you do.
But you don't just like dunk them in the water.
Yeah. But that's what, and all of a sudden, in the midst of this tickle fight, they see dead bodies.
So jarring.
Dead bodies
decomposing down there, and it looks like they're strapped to like airplane seats, right? So they're passengers of the vessel from the fuselage, we could say.
So they probably, when the plane split up, they probably got sucked out and they just landed in that lake.
Yeah. Nope. That's Rose's husband down there with
Bernard and friend.
And then Sawyer wants to loot the bodies, gets guy's wallet for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah,
money's useless. He just can't help himself.
I wrote Sawyer stays on brand.
Yeah. see what they got. He comes back up like peanuts.
But I thought it was incredible that like they go down there. And his first reaction is, I'm going to take the guy's wallet and not the suitcase, because the suitcase is like big, shiny. Kate sees it immediately.
Yeah.
I would have figured Sawyer would have been like, oh, yeah, the good stuff is in there.
I know this scene doesn't play the way that they wanted it to, because I had when she said it's mine, I didn't think she meant it was literally hers prior to the crash. They wanted you to get the idea that she maybe you guys did, but I didn't get the idea that like she recognized it and it was really important to her. I was very slow to pick all of that up. They had to call attention to it with Sawyer being like, this isn't yours, is it? I was like, oh, she meant literally mine. Okay.
I picked up on it that she wanted it. Like it was important to her in some way.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like because it was in association with the marshal, correct?
Yes.
That
was technically his case.
Yeah. I almost feel like a callback to like that sequence of them getting on the plane, or like maybe during checkout. Or not checkout, them going through
checkout
at Target when he bought the suitcase. That's a Halliburton.
Did you find everything you were looking for today on the plane?
When they were going through
Baggage claim.
Yeah, something like that. Like that would have been like a nice like hint, like, oh yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Just to give the audience a clue. Because I was kind of in the same boat you were. I was like, oh, is that hers? Or like, where did that actually come from?
And can I just say the reveal after all of this of what's in the case, very anticlimactic.
Right.
It's just like an airplane Christmas tree ornament or something.
Yeah.
We had no, that I can recall, relation to this object prior to this or anything. Like, oh,
correct.
It's just like a what?
It's like, what is that?
And but what makes it so funny to me is like ostensibly she was so ashamed, right? I get why, like the emotional beat of it works, but like the idea that anyone, like if she had let Sawyer open that with her, would he have thought anything about the airplane in the envelope?
No, he would have been like,
no,
woo, money, woo, gun.
Exactly.
Oh, weird envelope with a plane in it? Don't give a shit.
It doesn't. So like the whole thing about like, oh God, I can't let them open this just was so like, what?
Everyone's going to know I love planes.
I can't open this with them because when I see plane, I freak out and say I murder. Like I can't help it. And so I have to do this alone.
That's why I kept screaming it on the flight before we crashed.
Yeah.
My murder.
Because it was a plane. So I just found that interesting.
So you think planes?
So you
It's a
think-
plane, you think?
You think?
And I also, I know this is for way later, but I just got to get it out of my system now. What was the flight number that you said was going to keep coming back up?
815.
Okay, so the toy plane, I think, didn't say 815. I think it said
No, but
5035.
that was the security box that it was in.
Oh.
Yeah, the lockbox was 815.
Nice. 'Cause I knew something like that was going to happen. I just couldn't place it. None of it was registering. So anyway, that's what happens. What's up with the suitcase, Freckles? It starts that whole shtick for the episode, right? Whatever the case may be. We cut back to everybody on the beach. Everything's getting pushed out to sea. Something weird's happening with the tide. It's supernatural almost how much everything's getting pushed out to the ocean. So
Big waves.
everybody in the ocean has to move up. The whole fuselage is going to
I
be
like
underwater soon.
the overuse of fuselage. Like the writers are like, we have to.
We haven't said
we
fuselage
have
since
to say
episode 7.
fuselage at least
Yeah.
5 more times.
I love it.
The goal of this season is just to teach everyone what a fuselage is.
I learned.
Yeah.
And then they mention the monster again, which is nice for me. Jack wants Sayid to take him back to the French woman. He's like, what about the maps, man?
Show me the French woman.
And Sayid's like, nah, I mean, dude, she was crazy. I'm telling you, there ain't shit going on with those maps.
Yeah, she wrote French. Weird.
I'm good with math, but there's French with the math. And so I don't know what to do, right? And he's like, if I could translate it, maybe, right? By the way, Charlie's over there. He's sad boy.
He's big sad.
Charlie's just staring at the ocean.
His emo hair is like covering up one eye.
It cuts to him and he just whispered, I don't know if you guys heard this, but he was like, we not all everybody anymore. Yeah. And then Walt ran out of the woods and said, Claire, fall down. And it was like, shut up, dude.
Not the time.
Yeah. So we cut to Boone giving Shannon shit for being lazy and useless. At least I'm doing something secretive with Locke. Locke and Boone have been rolling out secretly.
For 4 days in the jungle.
Wow.
Are they fucking?
I mean,
I hope they are.
Shannon
I
implied
hope
it.
so.
Your new boyfriend.
I hope so. Because I mean, I would love that for Locke. A man his age,
Boone is
hooking up with Ian Somerhalder.
Colon.
Boone's definitely bottom.
Absolutely.
say?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even remotely switched.
He's like, check out my hatch, Mr. Locke.
They're looking for Claire.
Let's go play hunting for boar. Ooh, I'm a boar. Come get me. I'm just a little piggy.
Oh my God. You're making it so weird. Can't just have two bros fucking without making it weird.
Some people like piggy play.
That's true. But Boone's like,
God.
I'm trying to fit in. We're a joke. You're useless, right?
Fit in.
Hurts
there.
her.
Nice.
And then
You're useless, Shannon.
and we cut to like Kate poking the fire, and Sawyer's still just like carrying the case around, which presumably it's hours later, and he's just like, still got the suitcase. Just saying.
I like to imagine that we didn't see the scene before that where Sawyer was just like walking around and saw Kate like at the campfire. He's like,
I went.
oh shit, where's my? Oh, hold on,
I gotta go get the
Hold on.
case.
And he like gets he grabs it. He's like, okay. And he like
No, he did, like-
walks across
Oh
her
my
vision.
God.
He did like
And then
20
he looks
push-ups
back
first.
and he's like, fuck yeah, she saw.
I hope that's
She
canon.
saw.
I hope that's real. Oh.
He did push-ups first for sure.
Freckles
Oh my
definitely
God.
saw.
And we cut back to the past, and it's Kate
Back in time.
playing a character named Maggie Ryan, Miss Ryan, getting a loan in New Mexico, saying that she's a photographer. She's kind of flirty with the bank manager. And then robbers come in. Uh-oh.
This is a robbery.
Oh, no.
This is the Karen of robbers because the robber just immediately comes in. I need to speak to the manager. Excuse me,
Being
sir.
a real-
Are you the manager?
Being a real Karen.
Yeah.
I don't want to wear my mask. No, I'm kidding.
Yelp stars are on the line. Give me the money. Back in the present, Sawyer is sleeping with the case now, between his legs, no less. And Kate's
It helps with his lumbar support when he sleeps.
Yeah,
Oh
who
my
does
God.
that? Like, that was not going to fool anybody.
Sometimes you put
So nerdy.
Hey, but like Kate too, like, why would she want to like act like she doesn't care about it and then sneak in and steal it? Like, is he going to wake up and not know it's missing?
Yeah.
Like, and we find out later that she
'cause-
knows where the key is. She hasn't even gotten the key yet. Like,
Yeah.
what's the plan here?
Wasn't there a point when they were at the waterfall and she's like, I got the suitcase, and he's like, does this mean something to you? She could have just said,
Yes.
yeah, I want that case. And
Exactly.
he probably would have let her have it, but instead he's like, oh, well, if you don't like it, I'll take it. And she's like, I don't care. Yeah, take it. I don't care. I'm Kate. I'm coy.
That's why I pushed back about your criticism of the regression of Sawyer,
care.
because Kate made it a thing. And like,
Oh, sure.
to make Sawyer be the way that he's being.
Yeah.
You know?
No, like it is a different reason. I just like, I could go, the rest of
your
my
life.
life not seeing anybody walk up to Sawyer like, I want thing, give me thing. And
Yeah.
he goes, I don't think so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You think I'm supposed
Except
to
to Hurley.
give it to you?
Yeah, unless it's Hurley and Hurley just lays it down on him every time because,
How
They
can
should
you
have
how can you say
sent
no to
Hurley.
Hurley?
You can't.
yeah,
He's
Hurley's
harmless.
He's the best.
Which there's a fun Hurley moment coming up in a second. I bet.
Yeah, it's a trap. He knew she would come get the case from his
Yeah.
legs, and he does a weird like, "Hey, you want a hug?" Like,
Oh, he wraps her up.
yeah.
She'd be headbutting the shit out of him.
Oh, yeah.
He's what I can only describe as power bottoming Kate in this scenario. And then she headbutts him. Yep. And then he still won't give it up. He's like,
Dang,
"Ooh,
girl, if you wanted to play rough, you just needed to ask.
I love headbutting.
Ew.
Heads to butts is my favorite thing. I'm saying I eat ass, Kate.
Oh, I misunderstood what we were doing here.
Not a great idea on the island, but
A little bit of sandy cheeks.
I'm taking antibiotics.
You can still taste the dead people lake water.
Oh,
And then probably the second funniest, unintentionally funny thing in this episode, Shannon is tanning, which is true to her character that she'd be doing that in this scenario.
Yeah, her job is beach.
And of course, she's topless tanning because you don't want tan lines when you're literally
No.
going to die on an island.
No.
And Sayid comes limping up hungrily as soon as she takes her top off. And I fucking lost it. Like the way that they framed that, like as soon as she unhooks the top, he's like, eh. Like Igor coming up like,
Pretty lady.
I love boobs.
Pretty lady.
You mean a lotion in your back?
Nadia who?
And he's got this sweet pickup line about how close they are to the equator. You know, if
Right.
infrastructure doesn't work, you can always count on like latitude and longitude.
Yeah. Well, it's just slightly adjacent to astrology. So maybe he's Mercury is in retrograde.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Nice pool.
Madison lit up.
I did.
Oh.
I said, okay.
So Sayid says he needs a favor and wants her help translating French.
She knows French.
I didn't like her pushback. No. It's like, you're doing literally fucking nothing else. You know what I mean? Like, and he's like flabbergasted. Like, it is the only thing anyone could ask of you.
But also her point being that she really doesn't know a lot. She just knows that
Yeah,
guy.
she's got maybe a little fear of failure in there.
But I understand she could have at least
She
tried.
fucked a French dude for months, Madison. She can do this.
That doesn't mean that they understood each other.
That's true.
And as someone who is not a connoisseur of luggage, the next scene did not work for me. Sawyer's trying to get into this case. Michael walks by and he's just like,
You're wasting your time.
Hurley, he's trying to pick the lock on a Halliburton. And then Hurley, who I wanted to be like, what is that? Said, ha, what a loser. And I don't know what a
high five.
Halliburton is. What is a Halliburton? Did either of you have any context
No,
for this?
I just interpret it as a very like high profile like lock system or
I
something.
only know
is
I know
it
Swiss gear
Halliburton?
and I know Samsonite, but that's only because of Dumb and Dumber.
Isn't Halliburton the like company that like Dick Cheney was involved in that like made the airplanes for the government?
You would know that.
Halliburton is an American multinational corporation and the world's second largest oil service company,
What the fuck does that have to do with a suitcase?
responsible
Zero Halliburton luggage.
There you go.
Aluminum carry-on designed for fearlessness and purpose.
Damn. Yeah. Zero Halliburton luggage. How much does it cost? It's a hard shell.
I'm going to guess.
Oh, they're expensive.
They're big expensive.
Oh,
damn.
boy.
$1,000 for the big boy.
A large travel case is $500.
Dang.
Should I get one? They'd be super secure.
Yeah.
I just want to carry one so people think I have something cool
International carry-on is $1,000. Just the carry-on? What's it like to have money?
Rooted in the legacy of the classic aluminum series, first introduced in 1946, the classic aluminum 3.0 International carry-on revitalizes the traditional double rib design.
Double for her pleasure?
Yes, manifesting the enduring beauty of aluminum luggage. This modernized version with its reimagined caster and handle designs artfully combines tradition with innovation.
And Sawyer would definitely not be able to break in. That's a weird thing to advertise.
If you drop this shit from a tree,
nothing will happen.
A, we'll call you an idiot, and B, the suitcase will remain intact.
It's also clearly waterproof.
Yeah.
When she finally opens it and it's just like this pristine money and stuff, I was like, okay.
Right.
Hey,
Okay.
that's the Halliburton promise.
Yeah.
All right?
But Michael's like, look, man, you got to use centrifugal force or whatever the fuck he says.
Oh, this made
Or
me
like-
laugh so hard because he's like, oh, they're laughing. I'm like, oh, you're never going to break into that by picking a lock. You're going to need impact velocity if you're going to get into that thing.
Just say hit it.
And Sawyer is just like, impact velocity, those are two big words. What's that? What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Like, hit it.
Hit it.
Smash it.
With the axe, which was just a clever way to cut to Boone with the axe. And Locke's like being a dick because he's not nice to his bottom boy. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I know they're fucking.
Maybe he's into it.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I know they're fucking.
Hey,
the way
man,
that he's talking to Boone all nasty for no reason.
There's a pecking order, okay? And
That's
he's
right.
the top. And maybe
Do you
Pegging
know
order.
they didn't see you, or do you think they didn't see you? Like, motherfucker, it's semantics. Like, he cannot say for sure that no one saw him. That would be scientifically inaccurate to say that he knows without a doubt. Why are you being a dick?
Boone, you're being real useless right now.
Oh.
And then Boone takes all that energy back to Shannon.
By the way, Boone has the axe that Sawyer needed to break the lock on the suitcase, and he takes it to Locke.
Oh. The C is
These dots are a connecting.
And then Charlie's sitting there, and the lady that lost her husband in like the first episode, it's Rose. She walks up like, why are you being a little bitch?
I forgot her name.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's Rose.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Steve knew.
Hey, you want to actually do something instead of being a sad boy?
Yeah, everybody's got people that may or may not ever be found again on this island. It doesn't mean you can be lazy and a little bitch about it.
Did the pregnant lady you met 3 weeks ago get disappeared into the jungle? Oh, that's nice. My husband's gone.
Where's Rose when we need to get Shannon to do something?
That's right. Why are they even trying to move that like plane wing? Like we don't need that, Rose. Charlie's like, I'm not lazy. We just don't fucking need that piece of metal.
That can go into the sea. The sea can claim it. We don't need that. I think there was
That's my husband's favorite piece. There's a fuselage.
There was a joke that got removed from the final episode where she joked like, this is going to be part of my granite countertop at the new base or something like that. Where she called attention to this ridiculous big thing that she's carrying.
That's a real thing you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I guess they cut that joke out of
Because it makes no sense that she wants that hunk of metal.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
That actually makes me feel better. And yeah, she's just trying to snap him out of it. We cut to Sawyer slamming the case on a rock over and over. He's trying really hard. By the way, it's really sad when we find out that it's a puppy in there.
He just like looks like a caveman. Like just.
It's like Zoolander when they're trying to get the files out of the computer.
Da, da, da.
Dun, dun,
And then
dun,
it's
dun.
like he can't focus his mind on anything else except opening this case.
He's so fascinated
In
by what's
spite-
got Kate all hot and bothered.
Yeah.
On an island of mystery, the only riddle he wants to solve is Kate.
By the way, throwing the case from 30 feet up is not more force than slamming it on a rock as hard as you can.
No.
I just want to throw that to everybody, and we all agree, right?
Yes.
I agree.
That was never gonna
He
work.
looked like an idiot.
But when he does that, Kate has been like watching the whole time, and she runs up like,
Gotcha.
he's like, don't you do it. And so she runs up and grabs it, runs off. He catches up, tackles her.
Somehow he catches up to her from another direction.
Yeah.
He cut her off. He's like, I've been creeping around these woods watching you climb trees so long that I've got all kinds of trails.
You ain't gonna out creep the creep.
That's right. You cannot.
I've only been sitting on the beach reading Watershed Down literally every moment of this series, but sure, yeah, he knows all the trails as well as Locke does.
You know how long ago I found that waterfall and had to manipulate you into discovering it to swim with me without your pants on? So long.
So long. I found it day one.
I didn't tell anybody.
Best laid plans, baby. Because he is a hustler.
There.
That's his whole thing. We know that he's a con man, right?
Don't hustle a hustler.
He's a confidence man. So he catches her, tackles her, and just says, hey, look, if you just tell me what's in it, I'll give it to you. Which is, to Steve's point from earlier, like this shows the growth of Sawyer. Like, I don't actually fucking want this. Yeah.
Right.
I think you're super hot. I'm really into you.
I just want to satisfy my curiosity, which
really,
I
she could have just lied.
Yeah, I get it. I get like, I don't really need to see it. I just need to know.
She could have said, it's a puppy. I hope you've been gentle with it. And he'd be like, oh, here you go.
Here's the case back.
Well, especially in this part of the story, no one knows her origin aside from Jack. So it's like she could have made some shit up or could have just been like, it was, I don't know. She could have literally made anything up and I'm sure he would have given it to her.
What was the thing that her and Claire early on in the season were like, we can't find any like
hairbrushes?
Hairbrushes, that's what it was. She could have been like, this is the hairbrushes case. This is where all my hairbrushes were.
That's right.
We need the hairbrushes. And he would be like, oh man, lady parts?
Oh my!
She could be like, my tampons are in there. Like, oh, say no word. Here's the case.
Literally.
I don't want it anymore.
Cardboard applicator or plastic? What if he's like an expert?
Oh
Got to be plastic, right?
Right.
Ain't worth throwing cardboard.
Heavy flow.
I think if Kate made an elaborate effort to try, I mean, she's been lying this whole time. I don't understand why it's so difficult for her to like lie about what's in the briefcase.
Well, I don't think she wants to lie. I just think she's so filled with, like, I kind of buy it from a character perspective that she's just panicking, but some of it's just not working, right? Like, I don't think if she was a villain who just wanted to successfully hide this fact, it'd be so easy to have not grabbed the case, right? You know, or whatever. Like, it would have been a different episode entirely. But the fact is that she's a good person who is ashamed of this facet of her past, right?
But again, kind of what you said before is once we open it, it's like no one is going to interpret.
No one would have thought anything about that plane.
Anything about her past or like her doing anything wrong based off of what was inside.
Yeah. Everything she went through was not worth it at all.
Like the only thing, because when I was like trying to think, oh, what is in the briefcase? Are we going to find out this episode? Or, you know, is this going to be an ongoing thing? I was like, oh, is there like a letter of some sorts that's kind of like outing her? Like maybe, because I knew I
couldn't imagine what it would be. You know, like her record literally printed out in a folder or something.
Or like her mugshot or like something. Like, I have no idea. Like
anal beads.
A case.
She's just like, guys, they're not mine.
They're not mine.
They're not mine.
They're engraved with Kate.
Yeah.
How did that get on there?
And one book that says, "This is my bag, baby," written by Kate.
And a very, very... It was like just a little obnoxious to have this be a continuing like back and forth between the two of them this episode.
We cut back to the past. The robber wants the money cage key. This other guy wants to be a hero. It makes no sense that he would talk to Kate.
Dude.
Why would he talk to Kate though? Is he like trying to like hit on her? You know what I mean? He's like, I gotta take him down. Like, just do it, bro. Don't tell the pretty lady that you have to do it.
Get your iPhone out. Take a picture of it when I do it.
I thought he was doing it because she was in like close proximity to him to help.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I took it differently. Like,
I'm going to attack the guy, kick his gun over to you, and you're going to pick up the gun and then shoot him. I
don't know if you're single or if you're attracted to heroes, but watch this.
I got him. I don't know how to use a gun.
Yeah, she pretends not to know how to use the gun. She's in on it. And she's got a hot robber boyfriend. This is Kate and Clyde, baby. By the way,
I think his name...
We all knew, well, Steve knew, but we all knew she was in on the robbery, right? She was like a distraction.
The moment she was in a bank applying for a loan, it was like, what fresh con is this?
The moment she said she's a photographer, I said, no fucking way.
Yeah.
The same way that you make drapes.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. It's the holiday season, the season of gift giving. If you're like me, you've waited until late December to think about it, and now everything that you try to order on a website is not going to arrive until after Christmas. That's the opposite of the holiday spirit. That's stressful. We've got a gift that you can give yourself. You can get a subscription to BetterHelp and give yourself the gift of therapy. If you've never tried therapy before, it's a great way to get into it. You can fill out a questionnaire and get matched with a therapist. And if you don't like them or you're not meshing, it's easy to switch. You can just get another one. And it's all online, so you don't have to stress about the traffic and the driving and the location and all the logistical things that always help you talk yourself out of giving therapy a try. So I think you should do it. This holiday season, lower the stress a little bit. Give yourself the gift of mental wellness. So in the season of giving, give yourself what you need with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/streamingthings today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/streamingthings.
Ho, ho, ho. Happy holidays and happy streaming, everybody. This month, we want to give a special shout out to all of our patrons who keep the lights on at Streaming Things, but we especially want to give a special shout out to the super patrons. They are Kaylee Sampson, Stanton Valentino, Anthony Corona, Infamous, Brent Stradamus, Sunshine, Huckleberry Cauliflower, Optimus, Mike from New Hampshire, Brett X, Emily Scarano, Little Tickler, Svento7, Jay Scramo, Haley Anderson, AK Ashley Ray, Adam Busby, Wendy O'Laughlin, Joey Stewart, Jason Hawkins, Big Butthorn, Conrad, Rabbit Dog in a Barbie Car, Charlie Friday, Alexis Adler, Linda Eklund, Emmy, Joe Velez, John Collins, Amber McVeigh, Amanda King, Trisha Bueller, Sun Loving Mortal, Suzanne Rode, Lauren Waller, Jadinklage Morgoon, Jen Robinson, Kalisha Reeves, Aaron Armstrong, Kevin Strother, Ryan Moore, Ashley Powers, Stephen V, Casey McCain, and of course, Enza. Thank you all so much for supporting the show. And with that, let's get back to it.
Back in the present, it's Sayid and Shannon. We find out her backstory of why she speaks French, a little bit more. She lived in France for a while with a guy. And I put, they getting sweet? Because I was noticing something between Sayid and Shannon there. Mm-hmm. It probably picked up on it as soon as he limped up to her naked body on the beach. Lady. By the way, I'm just putting myself in Sayid's shoes. I'm hobbling along the beach. Okay. I'm hobbling. Yeah. I want to ask Shannon's help. I don't know. Do you? Like, if I see Shannon take her top off, I might turn around. I might give it 30 minutes before I ask. I might, because it might just, maybe I'm overthinking it, but it just seems like a bad moment. Hey, you want to chat now that your girls are out?
The clock is running, man. The clock is running. He's got to fix this riddle to get Jack off his ass.
Maybe I'm overthinking it, and he's being the adult. Like, it's just some boobs.
Everyone sees titties.
We got to translate.
They're just
bring
boobs.
Your boobs. I don't care.
Bring the boobs. Maybe they can help.
Honestly, I don't know why this isn't a nude beach already.
That's what I'm saying. Why are we all being shy here?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Pull them out. Whip them out.
Let them out.
Guys,
there's no cameras.
That's why we don't see the rest of the survivors, because that's what they're doing, and they just can't shoot that.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's true. They're just fuselaging.
Fucking Lance is down there hanging dong.
Yeah. That's why Ethan joined the crew.
Except that one guy that's like super afraid he's gonna get a disease.
Oh, the rash guy?
Oh, yeah. He's like putting everyone else's clothes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jack goes up to Sun in the caves, and all we see of one of my favorite characters for like the 4th episode in a row, she's like an herbal medicine woman now. She's got herbs from headaches, I think. And she also speaks English and is still somewhat acting like she can't.
Okay.
She has only come out to Michael that she can speak English.
True.
He asked her a question in English. She responded to the question.
Right. But not in English.
Not in English.
But with miming.
She understands English.
She does.
I don't know. I just am like, they didn't play off her, like, because he didn't really like use his body to like give any implication to what he was saying.
What he was trying to ask.
So it's just like, she easily just interpreted what he was saying.
He didn't like pick up the flower and
go,
Right.
Yeah. Like, so that kind of annoyed me. Just like, I feel like it's just the
They're
lack
really milking that.
Or just like the lack of like, understanding of that wouldn't be realistic because Jack's interpretation of Sun is she knows no English at all. And she just immediately answered his question. I don't know. I was like, she doesn't know English. Why did she respond?
Yeah, this is just, again, I think the writer's trying to like Sun's here. Get it?
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
Yeah.
And then Kate walks up to Jack and says that we have a problem. And he's sassy with her. He's kind of over her shit.
Is this a we problem or a you problem?
Sounds like something probably only you care about.
Skank.
Yeah. Heard you tongue kissed him for some First, what was it even for?
Madison?
The inhaler? Yeah.
The inhaler, yeah.
I heard you tongue kissed a robber in the previous scene too.
Yeah.
What's that?
I heard your name's Maggie, bitch.
Yeah.
Bitch.
What's about that?
Maggie Ryan?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Good name. I like that name.
What are you doing out? Giving hand jobs for needle and thread? What's going on? What are you up to now, Jezebel?
I just love how Sun, because the two of them don't think she can understand what they're saying. She's clearly
She's just
eavesdropping.
listening.
Yeah, the whole time Sun just giving the biggest side eye, like, oh.
She gets all the tea.
I'm going to tell Jen about
honestly,
this.
She's just thinking that's a Halliburton. There's no way you have anything to worry about.
That was the look she gave, like, oh, wait, he's trying to break into a Halliburton?
I need to be there for that.
I wish they had brought that back a third time. Just somebody completely unrelated. Like Rose, like a Halliburton?
Everybody,
Yeah.
It's like the fuselage everybody knows.
Yeah, just everybody knows.
Everybody knows about these Halliburton.
I wonder how much Halliburton paid to have this plug in this show. Because you know how many people probably bought Halliburtons after this? Like, damn, those are sturdy.
Probably
Damn.
a lot. Yep.
Drop it from a tree.
But she tells Jack, "You're the only one who knows about me, right?" And the case has guns. It was the marshal's case. It's got like 4 9mm. She knows where the key is. The marshal had it in his wallet, so they have to go dig up the body. And they also yada 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 the fact that they buried the marshal but burned all the other bodies. Yeah. That's fine.
Like it's such a bad excuse because she brings attention to it. Like why did you bury him and not burn him with the other bodies? And Jack just goes, I had to bury him.
Because I was guilty. He died under my care.
Okay. Do you do that for all your patients, Jack?
Sure. Yeah.
I could have saved him, but my drunk dad's ghost showed up and ruined the surgery.
Not again, Dad.
And so he doesn't believe her. He thinks there's something else in the case that she's not telling him, and they have to open it together. Again, I don't know if they really laid the groundwork for Jack's mistrust of Kate at this point, but I'm fine with yada yadaing it. And Charlie,
I think Jack is on his man period.
For sure.
Yeah. Because he's
menstruating.
He was very, very touchy last episode, and he's like even more touchy this episode. Not touchy, but like,
yeah.
Like, meh,
I'm
like
really
whiny.
tired of Jack's insecurity. Like, you're jealous of Sawyer. That's clear. You have no ownership of Kate, sir.
Yeah.
You barely know each other.
Period.
She wanted to fuck. You wanted to talk about dams.
Yeah.
And even then, you would have no right to say what she can do or not do.
Yeah.
Bro, if anything, I think, and I've said this before, I'll say it again, Jack and Sawyer fuck, then they would be less angry.
I completely agree.
I agree.
Thank you. And we're all on the same page. So then Charlie's with his new happy friend because she's all happy. And he's like, we're all going to die. There's monsters. And she's like, oh my God, quit your bitching, dude. It could be way worse. And Charlie, nobody blames you. And then he breaks down because that's really what he's upset about, right? Like,
That was a sweet moment.
yeah. Look, you're not a tough guy. None of us thought you could save her. You're just a has-been musician junkie, right?
Yeah.
Lower your expectations of yourself, sir.
We didn't think that highly of you before.
Just start a podcast, buddy.
Don't worry.
Oh my God. If they started a podcast together,
Rose and Charlie?
They'd be Charlie Rose.
Oh my
no.
God.
Oh, wow.
Back in the past, Kate, aka Maggie, makes him hit her to keep selling the fact that she's one of the hostages and not part of it. It does call her Maggie in this instance.
Masochist.
And then the manager gives up the key to save Kate. Back in the present, they find Stinky Dead Man buried, like a foot in the ground, by the way. That's
So
not
many dead bodies
It's a
this
shallow grave.
episode.
That's not how you do that. And she sleight of handed the key out of the maggot wallet, and he caught her. And now she's busted. He's so hurt by this. Like, Kate, oh my God, I was going to give you my virginity, Kate.
He would.
That's the vibe, Jack. That's the vibe, Jack's
That
giving.
is so accurate.
And
Now
now
a friendship
done.
bracelet to
Yeah, he just throws it on the ground.
I was going to give you this purity ring.
I was going to take off my purity ring with
purity
you.
ring. That's what it was.
Never mind.
He's definitely a Jonas Brothers fan.
Oh, 100%.
He runs away when that like.
She's so cold-blooded. And we cut back to Shannon. She's trying to translate the French. Sea of silver, sparkles that change, next to the pond, blue infinity. And for some reason, Sayid's such a dick. This was a mistake. You suck at French. And she's like, I told you I sucked at French.
You didn't know what it was a half hour ago, but now you said it sounds familiar?
Yeah.
Nonsense.
Well, also, he said that there's math, and Shannon said, I didn't know there was math involved. And I was like, honestly,
That's fair.
that's fair.
Yeah.
I'd be mad.
You didn't say anything about math.
No.
Nope. Your boobs distracted me. And then
Your boobs were an invite. Shannon's like, no.
take them out. Maybe it will help.
Pretty lady.
Jack goes up to, he limps after. Jack goes up to Sawyer for the case. And they have this whole annoying exchange that we've seen 1,000 times before. But this time, Jack actually threatens to fucking kill him.
Only Jack can threaten to kill somebody by just
Removing their cephalexin.
by making it known that he knows the words for fancy drugs.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Cephalaxin. And I love the frustration in Sawyer's face. Like, fuck, I guess I got to fucking ask what that is.
Is that another suitcase? Because I'm over it, bud. It's a Halliburton. It's a cephalexin. I can't open
It's a
it.
Swiss.
No. It'll make your arm so infected you want to kill yourself.
Yeah.
You have to amputate it.
You've been begging for me to take that arm.
But there's a good moment betwixt them, kind of a bro moment where they're both being lied to by the evil woman, which is what
The harlot,
they do.
that
let's be honest.
Jezebel.
They do a little chest bump.
Whatever she told you about this case, she lied, brother.
Bitches, am I right?
Look, I'm not gay, but here's what I think we should do.
I'll take my shirt off, not my pants, though.
That's right.
You take everything off. I don't like taking my pants off.
That's right. Unless it's dark.
Yeah.
I got a
tell
small
because
dick.
you can see my tan line on my baton.
I did see his ass crack at one point when he was
yeah.
swimming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a tan line on his cheeks.
Yep.
And I didn't say I wanted to see more out loud.
I clocked it.
Did you clock it?
I did.
Thank you, buddy. That's why we're
Clocked the
friends.
crack.
That's why we're friends. He tells Kate, Jack does, that they're going to open it together because he's a man of morals and honor. And that's what I said we were going to do. Come on. And I talk like Sawyer now. Back in the past, they get in the money cage wherein there is money.
Money cage.
Money cage.
The manager says, let the girl go, meaning Kate. And then the dude, for some reason, like snitches on Maggie for no reason.
Makes no sense.
He's like, by the way, she's in on it. Here's my face. Now I have to kill you because I love killing secretly. I act like I'm a robber, but I just love murder. And then, so she, having morals and a code, shoots Jason, which is the robber's name, and fucking everybody else because apparently she's, oh, Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne.
Jesus Christ.
It's Janet Bourne. And then she doesn't even want the robbery money. She wants safety deposit box 815.
Not only did she con the bank manager to get into the bank vault,
Double
she
con.
conned the robbers to stage the entire robbery.
I told you not to trust her.
Oh, but my penis was thinking for me.
Which means she's able to lie to put this whole plot on to convince this robber that she's so.
But she didn't care about Jason. She truly cares about Sawyer and Jack.
Guess.
That's the difference, Madison.
I guess.
And Jason's like, I gave you my virginity. And she opens the safety
could you do
deposit
that?
box. Inside is an envelope. We never get to see the contents. It might have been the airplane. I doubt it, but who knows? I don't know, man. Back in the present,
Be a weird thing to put in a lockbox.
It would. They're about to open the case. Inside is a stack of money, which is weird for the marshal to have. Just going to say that. It's a gun. Is it waterproof? We don't know. And then an envelope that says personal effects. And he's a nice guy. He's like, is this what you wanted? Here you go. And inside, unsatisfyingly, is a tiny airplane with no explanation. It belonged to the man I loved. Stop lying to me, Kate. Nobody loves men who love airplanes. And it belonged to the man I loved. I don't believe it. And then it's not even the model kind that you can build. What the fuck does it mean? And it belonged to the man I killed. And she breaks down. And I'm just going to say it. I know she's a murderer. We don't know the context. This might be a hot take. Jack just leaving her there in shambles when she's finally ready to get honest. A fucking asshole. What a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
I would have stayed and asked
Jack
questions.
is his own worst enemy.
Comforted her.
Or, hugged her at least.
Yeah.
At the very
because
least.
Good people do terrible things. I know this to be true about the world.
Good
also,
people murder.
that's right. I think so. Sometimes.
Could it have been like she murdered somebody, or did she do something that got this person killed?
We
Was
know
it an accident.
we have
that she
zero context.
caused?
That's kind of what my mind went to, because I can't picture the writers making Kate purposely murdering somebody.
Obviously, to me, it's going to be
She
some kind
jigsawed
of.
somebody.
I personally think just me trying to predict. I think it was a child.
Dang.
Hence the small airplane. And that was a toy plane so it was like a memento of the person that she
I
killed.
hope it was a pilot.
out of maybe not intentionally murdered, but like by proxy was responsible for this person's death. I don't know if it's related to the bank robbery scene particularly, but maybe there was something throughout her course that she ended up killing somebody she didn't mean to kill.
I agree. And I think he's a dick for just leaving her there. And
that
does
was really
it twice.
fucked up.
Yeah. She finally opens up to him and he responds by just being,
oh God.
I almost gave my virginity to a murderer.
I can't believe that.
So many virgins on this island.
This is the way he's acting.
Virgin Island.
He does not carry himself in a way of one who has gotten any ass.
But I feel like Kate would be like, well, I'm going to go talk to Sawyer then.
Yeah. Oh.
Bye.
Yeah, but he doesn't care if I murder people. Yeah.
He probably is, very supportive of it. Like, I think we should kill more people.
He's about to murder this ass and she walks off. And then all the beachies are moving inward.
I did write a note. It's the wide shot of all the beachies walking across and you see Vinny the dog running. I did write like, oh, Vinny tripped.
Vinny fall down.
Vinny fall down.
Vinny fall down.
You did a little dog trip. I'm like, oh, that poor puppy.
I will say, so I noticed more like shots in this movie of like the sunset and stuff like that, which I enjoyed. I liked how they're kind of like bringing attention to like the beauty of the island. Even though
it's fucking like, Hawaii.
Yeah. So I just had to throw that out there because there's a little shot of the sunset.
Yeah, and there's like they're in this like kind of grove, which they're still refusing to go to the cave, but now they got their own little grove place. And then we pan over a few different characters. Charlie's sitting by the fire with his new girl. Claire's out.
Moving on with Rose.
That's right.
Yeah.
And
guys, she's married. She's a little bit
a married
older.
woman.
They're poly. It's fine. She thinks her husband's still alive, right? And he's like, what? And she's like, there's a fine line. I love this line. There's a fine line between denial and faith.
It's better on my side.
It's better on my side, baby. And he breaks down, help me, right? And then she says, I'm not the one that can help you. And I put like Jesus. And then they start praying. And I said, yep.
I initially thought, oh, she's going to get up and walk away. Just leave him.
I'm not the one.
She's like, wait.
I'm not the one.
If you're going to cry and make it weird, I'm out.
Oh, I thought you would go to Hurley for help. He seems to be your best little friend or something. I'm not that relationship with you, but my guy.
She's like, help. He's like, help me. And she's like, you can't open a Halliburton, son. He's like, what? Oh, sorry.
I'm not involved with that plot line. I know you can't open a Halliburton.
Who thinks they can open a Halliburton?
Everybody knows that. We cut to Shannon, who is a sad girl. And she goes up to Sayid and she's like, want to French some more? And winks, which is a clever pun. But she tells him she had her French boyfriend had a shitty kid. And
his name was Laurent.
The notations are song lyrics, which is one of the vampires from Twilight, I think, Laurent. And I didn't catch the song. Like I recognized the medley.
Somewhere beyond the sea.
That's what I thought.
Somewhere waiting for me. That one.
Silver sparkles.
My lover stands on golden sands. That, yeah.
Like, is it the kind of song that Michael Bublé would have covered?
Oh, yeah, kind of. I forget who the original singer is.
Right?
Bobby Darin.
Bobby Darin. Bobby D?
Yeah, old Bobby D. Let's look at these song lyrics to see if we can find...
La Mer.
Let's see if we can find some of the, like, Blue Infinity or something, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Something. Or is she just terrible at French and she was correct about that and none of those words are in there?
Yeah, I don't see those words in there, so I don't... Maybe it's just the French version.
So she's saying that the French woman was just writing lyrics to this song. Yeah.
Or maybe the French version has those in it. But it's also funny. So she's quoting the child's watching Finding Nemo, and this is the song at the end of Finding Nemo.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
She couldn't say. Well, I guess she couldn't say Finding Nemo.
Yeah,
she said something about a robot though.
Did she?
There was a fish, but maybe I don't know. The computer. No, she said computer.
Oh yeah, because it's a computer animated film. Is what she was implying.
Jesus.
Yeah, because she.
What is she, like a Martian?
Yeah.
She's a robot.
She could just say cartoon.
She's an AI character.
It's like a computer fish, you know? What? I was thinking like RoboCop fish. Like, what is this movie? I need to watch it now. I'd buy that for $1.
So I guess La Mer is the actual song she sings.
Yes, by Charles
Trenet.
That's the ocean, right? La Mer.
Trenet?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's so many pop-ups.
La mer qui envole.
Okay, so the sea, the one that sees dancing along the clear gulf has silver reflections. The sea changing the reflections under the rain. The sea and the summer of skies merge. Its white sheep with such pure angels. The sea, shepherdess of azure, infinite, blue infinite. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. She was doing it right. So that's what we find out there.
And I guess that song originally started as a French song, but it morphed into Somewhere Beyond the Sea, which is the song I quoted.
And then the funniest part of this episode is the next shot, where it pans from her having a normal human conversation with Sayid to a furious serial killer looking Boone in the shadows. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Nobody fucks my sister but me. Like, what is that?
That was really bizarre.
Why would he not just be so delighted she's not being useless on the beat? Like, I don't understand the point of this at all.
I really hope there's some like secret, like.
That's not my sister. That's my wife. Okay, it's both.
Something like
it's
that.
Something.
Sister wife.
I'm from Oklahoma. I apologize to our Oklahoma listeners. I've never been there. I've just made that up.
You could have just said, I'm from Kentucky.
Yeah.
It would have worked.
The podcaster from Kentucky.
It would have worked just as well if saying from Kentucky.
It would have worked better.
It would have.
Let's be honest. So then,
but he's just like,
it's so
staring
angry. Like,
so like sinister.
What is that? Then Jack sees the hot murderer by the bonfire and just keeps walking because he's a baby. And that's it.
And yeah, Kate looks.
She's playing with the toy plane again.
Fiddling with the plane.
I think it said 5025 on the wing. I don't know.
Lost.
That's the end of the episode.
Lost.
Which brings us to Beach Please.
Beach Please, my dudes, my lady. If you guys do not remember, Beach Please is the part of the show where I give you little trivia factoids about the episode that we just watched.
That's right.
And if you need a refresher, we just watched, whatever the case may be. And I've got a couple little fun little tidbits for you. Not as much as last week, but a couple fun ones nonetheless. This episode is the highest rated episode of Lost Season 1, like Nielsen ratings. Meaning,
as in like the amount of people that watched it?
Yeah. So with a total of 21.59 million viewers.
I get it.
So yeah.
But how many of those dropped off after the waterfall scene?
When the pans came back on?
Yeah.
Oh, they're like, I got what I needed.
Never mind.
This week.
Never mind. Beep.
A fun little behind the scenes bit of trivia. The reason why there's a story of them having to move the camp off the beach is because of the real life seasonal tides on the north shore of Oahu, which would have eventually flooded the shooting site for realsies. So they wrote in the story a reason to get off the beach so they could avoid that.
That's what's cool about like episodic television, you know? You gotta develop with the real world and you're writing as you go. It's interesting.
I thought it was just the island saying, get the fuck off the beach.
And they wrote like a supernatural thing and like, oh, it's so weird.
Wow, there's all these tides. Who knew? Even though the show is filmed in Hawaii, all of the underwater scenes with Sawyer and Kate were actually filmed in a tank in LA.
That makes sense.
Which is kind of fun to think about, like, because it looks so seamless, right? But they're like completely opposite parts of the world doing that. Tim Halligan, who plays the bank manager. He is the bank manager named Hutton in the episode.
Yeah.
He is better known as Qualls in Space Cowboys and the principal in Freedom Riders. Remember that movie, Freedom Riders?
Classic.
Alternatively, Jason, the head robber, isn't credited as Jason in the episode. He is credited as Shooter. The other bank robbers are credited as Baseball Hat and 6'5".
Ooh, big boy.
Yeah. So
funny.
How would you like to have that on your IMDb? Like, oh yeah, I played 6'5" in Lost.
I love that.
Yeah.
Episode 12.
Basically
whatever
Travis Kelce.
Yeah, basically. Basically Travis Kelce.
Basically.
I mean, when you think about it, I'm dating Taylor Swift.
Yeah. 6 degrees.
And then I also mentioned, and the last bit of thing I already mentioned is that Oceanic Flight 815 is the same number as Kate's lockbox.
Yeah.
815.
Sorry for ruining that one.
That's okay.
I knew it had to be
Nice.
something somewhere.
There you go. You were right.
815.
You were right.
Did we talk about this already? But the area code for 815 is Chicago. I don't know if that is any way connected. But
Chi-Town. It's always connected.
always.
They're deep
But
dish fans.
It's
Just wanted to
Chi-Town,
throw
baby.
that out there. So
not actually
815
pizza.
area code is Chicago.
There you go.
Deep dish is not pizza, Steve.
Making weird connections.
What? It isn't?
I don't think so.
Is it pie?
More of a casserole.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Deep dish pizza. You say it's just
I'm just pissing off all the
you
Chicago
say-
residents.
You think casserole?
It's a casserole, you think? I'm
Casserole.
just a New York pizza guy, that's all. Now it's time for our
thin
Mile
slice.
High Club moments, our top 3 favorite moments of the episode. Madison, I only have 3 moments here, and I'm definitely not using these ones, so vamp for me. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is when they're all just goofy, but when Kate tries to steal the suitcase from Sawyer in the middle of the night between his legs.
Yeah.
And then they just like wrestle and she like headbutts him. It was just funny. And yeah, that's my number 3. I just think it was fun.
Steve, your number 3.
My number 3 is Rose walking up to Charlie and just being like, "Hey, motherfucker, you want to help out over
Yeah.
here? Please, I'm carrying a big hunk of metal and I need your help." Just because I'm a big sucker for Charlie and also Rose. So
That's right.
There you go. That's
That
my
was
number
my number 3, but I have another Charlie Rose moment that I and I didn't want to use 2. So I'm going to use Kate's sleight of hand as my number 3. I do hate Jack's reaction, but I think it's for a good reason. Like it's a good character reason. I already didn't like the guy very much, so now it's like, oh man, you're digging yourself deep here. I think you should be more loving and give her some more grace, you know?
Absolutely, you should.
Especially at that moment. But I did like that, like, that shocked me, like the level of betrayal. And we also found out she has a new skill, right? Like she's Jason Bourne with a gun. She's a dead eye with a rock.
She can climb trees.
Climb
like the best of
trees.
them.
Oh my God, she is so talented, and she can track. I mean, she's basically the best war. Like she could probably kill John. I think.
Oh,
She'd give
absolutely.
Locke a run for his money.
She's been walking on both legs her whole life. He's only
right.
been walking on his legs for 21 days.
She's more
right?
experienced. That's right. And now she's also great with sleight of hand. So she's contains multitudes, that Kate. So that's my number 3. Madison, your number 2.
My number 2 is Shannon and Sayid trying to interpret French and just kind of like bouncing off of each other.
When they were Frenching.
Yeah. And I was quite surprised in myself to enjoy the sexual tension between the two of them. I don't know why. Can always get approval from you for any sexual tension.
Yeah, sexual tension.
Sexual tension.
I don't like this reputation I have. I love love.
It's okay, embrace it.
Hey, you love love.
I'm-
Lean into it.
I'm the same way. So,
Thank you. You made me feel better.
but I don't know. We had never seen these characters interact before, and it was fun seeing them get to kind of know each other in that way, and also finally seeing Shannon do something was nice.
Yeah. Give her
Or at
some-
least attempt to try and do
give
something.
the character something to do other than lay on the beach, being objectified. You know?
Pretty lady.
I just the grunt.
Sanctuary. Quasimodo reference.
Oh, yeah.
Steve. More French stuff. Steve, you're number 2.
My number 2 is Rose telling Charlie, like, "Hey, it could be worse." And he's like, "Fucking how?" And she goes, "Hey, man, no one blames you for what happened to Claire." I thought that was very, very sweet of her. And she just tells him, "Hey, you just have to ask for help." Like, I don't know what it is about Rose, but when people just need a real calm, like, what do I do? You come to Rose. She'll disappear for 5 episodes, but when you need her, poof, she's there.
Bing, bang.
Boom.
Yeah, that's my number 2 as well. And
Nice.
thank you to Steve for being so bold as to actually use my original 3 and 2, the 2 Charlie and Rose moments. Because
You're welcome. I am brave.
Those are great moments. But yeah, for all the reasons that you said, it was out of nowhere. It was great for the character of Charlie, and it was cool. It seemed organic the way that she kind of hit right to the. You're not actually upset about any of the things you're acting like you're upset about. You know, nobody blames you. You know, it was good
Yeah.
for his healing. So that was nice. Madison,
Nice.
you're number 2.
I thought it was my
Or
number
number
1.
1.
My
Sorry.
number 1.
You guys are so confused. Like, I got to think of another
gotta
number
know
2.
My favorite moment is when Kate hustles the bank robbers and she goes all Jason Bourne and it
nice.
goes pow, 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 pow.
Brat, brat.
Yeah. Clack, clack. And just totally like,
That was good.
just completely goes badass. And yeah, it was just, I enjoy a good action sequence. And I was a little confused. Oh, all that just for an envelope in a box. But all right, whatever.
She's on an emotional.
But
Quest.
to be shooting it up wearing a skirt and some boots, I'm into it. Wow.
Oh my God, it's Jason Bourne.
So I
love all these gun noises we're doing.
I spent my entire childhood alone playing with toys and reading. So whenever I played with action figures with a normal kid, I was like, what the fuck are you doing, dude? You have to control each limb independently with different fingers. Like the kids that would just go beep, beep, beep. Like,
those kids
I'm leaving.
Can't do that.
I'm leaving.
Those kids
What's his backstory, Frank? What you know?
Yeah. No, I'm with you 100%.
What's his childhood trauma?
Exactly. Come on now.
I used to make all the noises as well, like the gun noises. And my stepfather at the time would make fun of me because he'd be like, because he thought it sounded like I was spitting. He'd be like, you're going to get all your action figures wet if you keep spitting like that. I'm like, I'm not doing that, other Steve. Okay? That's not what I'm doing, dummy.
Just let me live.
Just let me live. Mom doesn't even love you.
Yeah. That's right.
Mic drop.
She told me. Steve, what's your number one?
My number one moment is when Charlie breaks down and asks Rose for help, and she's like, "I can't give you help." And then the whole prayer
Another
thing.
Charlie Rose?
Yeah, another Charlie Rose.
Wow.
I have 3 Charlie Rose moments on here. All right,
That's good.
I love Charlie. Dominic Monaghan's great, and just when he like breaks down, he's like, "Help me!" Like, oh, my heart broke. Like, there's something about that character that you just immediately just want, like, here, just like wrap your arms around him and tell him it's going to be okay. That we all, everybody.
And she tries to guide him to faith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that part lost me a little bit as like a agnostic person, but the intent is nice.
It should be my number one. I loved it. I knew it was gonna. I know your guys' proclivities as far as like when it comes. I think I do when it comes to spirituality. I guess I'm looking at Madison like maybe I'm assuming too much.
I'm a huge Catholic.
I'm a woman of faith, but
She lives in a nunnery.
I'm not a believer of Jesus so much, but as somebody in recovery, and the whole basis of the 12 steps involves a power greater than yourself, higher power, and the fact that Charlie is also an addict. And as somebody with profound anxiety issues on top, it is helpful to just believe
there's something more than yourself.
The universe is not in your, to understand the universe is not in your control. And it's best to just give up control of that. Like, it's such a weight lifted off, you know. And I only get like sublime moments of that, like maybe 1 or 2 seconds in each week where I feel like floating on a breeze and the destination is already set and comfortable, but it's nice. And so I think he really needs that kind of thing. And so I appreciated that, even though I knew it was going to be awkward for a lot of my people when she started praying, you know, I actually think it was very sweet.
Yeah.
You know?
No, this is the type of religiosity that is like, it's coming from really good intentions. And it's like, I really want to help you. This helps me out. I'm going to share this thing that I have in my life that helps me with you. Hopefully it'll guide you somewhere or lead you somewhere nicer than where you are currently. That kind of stuff is like, that's sweet.
Yeah.
And then when it cut, she was like, by the way, if you don't accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, you're going to hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, none of that means anything if you don't believe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I hope you don't masturbate. And I
hope you're still a virgin.
I pray you did not. Yeah.
I hope you never did drugs. Wait, what?
And she leaves him there.
I wasted my whole day on a junkie.
My whole day.
My whole day ruined.
Way to go, Rose.
My number one, I don't know what to do. I mean, it's probably the vault, right? I really love the action scene.
You want to give it to the waterfall?
I'm giving it to the waterfall. You know?
You're allowed. You're allowed to do that.
As soon as you said, I don't know what I'm going to do, I'm like, he's giving it to the waterfall. Just own it, my dude.
It was just a good moment, character moment.
It was, yeah. We found out Sawyer doesn't take his pants off.
That's right, which is weird. Nobody swims in jeans.
He's a never nude.
It doesn't bother Kate to put jeans on her wet legs.
That was rough. Not only is it should bother her, like it's impossible.
Yeah.
She's the real monster on the island.
She is.
For that reason alone.
That's
me on that island, like from afar, being like,
girl,
bitch, what are you doing? Dry off at least.
Stop.
All you got to do is sit for 5 minutes.
Just a little bit in the sunlight.
Oh, goodness.
Never going to happen.
It was a good scene nonetheless, though.
It was. It was fun times.
Very crazy that there are just dead bodies at the bottom of that
Yeah, and like you
Waterfall.
don't go cliff jumping without exploring the depths of the. That's
I know,
that was wild.
especially when he dove
in
head first.
Never do that.
Yeah,
No.
I wanted to see him just get paralyzed and then, and then just be a lesson on
Kate's
swimming.
like, did you not see the 3-foot sign on the side? Like, come on, man.
My jeans blinded me.
Oh man.
No, it was that low-rise underwear.
Let's not talk
Low
about
cut.
it.
Okay.
That she wore for 4 days. I don't blame her. Those are nice.
Yeah, those are nice. She looks great in them.
She washes them by swimming every day.
Yeah.
So then we get our passenger princess segment, guys. Who are we going to nominate for the favorite performance of the episode? Steve, I think you and I are on the same page. Madison's a wild card.
So
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I think we do.
We all everybody?
I
don't know. Who are you going with?
So I am going to nominate Dominic Monaghan.
Okay. We're not we all everybody. in then,
Okay.
But we're close.
I-
Steve?
Oh,
I'm
you wanna
sorry.
go?
Oh, no.
I
no.
got so
go ahead,
excited
go
to
ahead.
see.
Go ahead. No, we'll see if we're all matching.
Oh well, I was just being a cynical little bitch when I finished this episode, so I wrote the ocean for trying to wash this episode away.
Dang, you're nice. He's like, I don't know.
That's good.
But really, I would give it to. Honestly, I would nominate Evangeline Lilly again, just because I don't really like what they're having her do, but she's still crushing. She's doing the best with what she's being given, I think.
She's doing great.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
be
she's
real.
amazing.
She's, yes.
Yeah.
Great at
we'll
all
say
angles.
nothing else.
Yeah.
I'm giving it to L. Scott Caldwell, who played Rose.
Okay.
Because I don't think I'll ever have an opportunity to do that again.
That's a good one.
And I think like the real like dead serious emotional weight of this episode really rests, you could say on Dominic Monaghan, but ultimately on her as well. And I thought it was nice. But yeah, do you want to talk about Dominic Monaghan and how you felt about that? Because we don't want to hear Steve talk about the ocean.
Right.
No. Rightfully so.
I initially had Evangeline Lilly in the running. And I think for me, it just, I don't know, for some reason I just was like, the action sequence was really cool. But I think ultimately I really liked how Dominic had to kind of stay in the same, like, for lack of a better word, shitty mood from the previous episode and having to have this like consult play back and forth with Rose. I don't know. I just thought it was very heartfelt, it was the heart of the episode. And so I feel like that's why he deserved my passenger princess.
That's right.
PP.
I never would argue with giving it to Evangeline Lilly. I love that the people, the people are on my side.
The people.
Because I came in boldly, bravely, and said, you know what, guys? No, it's not because I'm a perv. I like this episode. I think it's great. And Steve was like, you know what? Most popular episode ever, actually. Boom! Vindication. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're talking about
But only for the first 10
But only
minutes.
because of the episodes that happened prior to it. Because people are like, oh, I want to know what's happening with that hatch. Oh, it's just Kate.
It's just Kate and her little hatch.
Yeah.
The little suitcase.
Yeah. It shocked
Jesus.
Whatever the case may be.
Whatever the case.
me.
may be.
Whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Oh, so you think it was like a they tuned in because the last one I picked up the mystery so hard that they accidentally tuned into this one.
That's what I think, yeah.
But what about the IMDb ratings? What's the highest rated episode of season 1 IMDb wise?
I don't have that pulled up. I can try to do it
On the spot.
on the spot. Let's
On the
see
spot.
if
Beach, please.
Papa Steve can do it. Probably not.
Papa Steve.
You are like Papa.
Or like Papa Steve.
You are like Papa. How do you even see like
Walkabout, episode 4 is
what's-
considered. Well, no, it's just a
Walkabout.
list for on Collider as the best episode of Lost from season 1.
Which one even was that?
That's Locke's backstory. We find out he had.
That was a good episode.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's saying Walkabout is the best episode, but I don't know what the highest rated is.
Lost season 1 from best to worst.
Where does this episode?
Number 1 is 18. Numbers. Ooh, that is a good one. Numbers is good.
Episode 18.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the top. I'll just read you the top 5. Number 1 is Numbers, episode 18. Number 2 is episode 24, Exodus Part 2.
Oh, we got some bangers coming.
Oh, shit.
Number 3 is The Pilot, Part 1. Number 4 is Deus Ex Machina, which is episode 19. And number 5 is Walkabout, episode 4.
So 3 of the 5 we haven't seen yet. We got some bangers coming.
Let's look
I know, I'm
at
excited.
the number 24, the worst reviewed Lost episode of season 1, whatever the case may be, episode 12.
Oh,
So I'm reverse vindicated.
you're just on an emotional roller coaster. Over
Look,
there.
this
But this is surprising.
this episode's got cheeks. It's got guns pew-pewing.
It's got bare backs.
I don't agree with
Yeah?
this.
near bare breasts.
I want to say I don't think this list is completely right because number 21. Now this isn't the worst, but it's like in the worst 5 is House of the Rising Sun.
Which was
Sun and Jin's first episode.
Oh,
come on. That was a great
Yeah, that was-
episode.
I
was
love that
good.
episode. Yeah,
But hey, maybe it's a case of like the show's damn good and the worst is still better than most shows kind of
that's
thing.
true. Like Game of Thrones is like the worst Game of Thrones is like better than anything else.
Yeah.
kids
by the
still
way-
trying to.
I
you
meant to, yeah. I meant to call it out. It doesn't make any sense because they haven't seen this for like 4 more days. But when whoever sent us one of the gifts wrote a letter saying, I know you guys are going to cover Game of Thrones eventually. And they said 1 through 7. I don't know if that was an intentional joke about hating season 8.
Oh,
No, we already did season 8.
Oh, that's what
You
it
don't
is.
remember? I'm begging you to listen to the
blacked
show.
out. I blacked
I'm
out.
begging you to listen to the show.
Check it out.
We
It's
reviewed
pretty
season
great.
8. Yeah.
Dang. Never mind.
I know it's been 4 years.
Many years.
Yeah.
that was Jay Scramo.
Jay Scramo, yeah.
Scramo.
Yeah.
Scramo.
Scramo. We
Scramo,
say
okay.
Scramo.
Yeah.
Scramo. Okay.
Maybe
Yeah.
the other
Jay
sister.
Scramo.
But that's all the time we have. I think
We
we'll-
got-
And then we got to do our mysteries.
Oh, we got Lost and Found,
Lost
buddy.
and
Oh,
Found.
shit.
Shit. Okay, so I just wanted to ask you guys. There was like a mystery. We're not going to go through the whole list, but there was a mystery that I don't think was solved, but we can add to it.
Kate's.
The mystery: what are Kate's crimes? Sure. Now we
Murder.
can add that to who did Kate kill?
Sure. Yeah,
So
there's a
we're-
lot more Kate questions asked than answered in this episode.
And then the other mystery that I thought we could add is what does the French translation mean? The one
Sure.
that Shannon and Sayid are working on together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Finding Nemo song.
I like that.
Is there any other things you think we could add? Like, is Bernard still alive? Like, where is Bernard?
I
No.
just think that's Rose's
That's her way of
optimism.
coping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think
Steve's
we're good.
looking at us like, "Are you sure?
No,
Are you sure?"
Bernard may or may not be the monster, but go on.
maybe Bernard was in the seat that we saw at the bottom of the lake.
That'd have been awesome.
And we're gonna get an episode where Rose goes diving into the lake for a
Yeah.
fun time. She's like, Bernard!
Her and Charlie. Charlie, take your pants off.
It's time.
For that, I can be the one that can help you.
But no, I think who did Kate murder is probably the. And where did the plane, or like, what's the significance?
Oh
with the
yeah,
plane?
yeah. What is the plane?
What is
Kate's
plane?
What is plane?
What is
What
the
is
you
plane?
plane?
think planes?
You think?
Planes, you
What
think?
is Kate's
Or
plane?
like planes, you think?
You think? I hope that part's on there.
But that I think includes Lost and Found.
That's right.
Yes,
And
it does.
That is all the time that we have for right now. We've got to go return some videotapes. My name is Kit.
My name's Madison.
And I'm Steve, also saluting.
And this was Streaming Things. Happy streaming.